Hi, everybody. Welcome to my Meet the Teachers presentation. My name is Zach Hayes. I am your son or daughter's 8th grade ELA teacher this school year. Normally, I love this night, getting a chance to meet everyone, put some faces to names, reacquaint myself with some families of siblings I've had. But with many things in our world right now, circumstances are different, and so we'll be doing this virtually. Prepared a brief slideshow for everyone that I'd like to talk through to give you an idea of what goes on in my classroom every day. Something that is a lot easier to pull off when we're all here, but even with this hybrid model, with the hard work that our staff has done this week and really all through the summer, we feel like we're going to be able to pull this off. So our philosophy in 8th grade, especially in my classroom and the ELA department, really comes down to these four things. Number one, as a former Whitefish Bay High School student, I know how hard and rigorous everything is across the football field. So I want to make sure that your son or daughter is prepared to take that on, give them some great habits, some routines. Also, the teaching points and the assessments we've planned for 8th grade really mirror what's left to take on next year. We love providing choice in the text that our students read. Pigeonholing a student into a genre or a book, a whole class book, is something that we rarely do. We want to give them a chance to explore their own interests, and we believe that helps with motivation and passion. We also allow students to be very creative with their writing. Sure, we have literary analysis essays that are important for, uh, especially for an academic type paper they'll have to take on in high school and with standardized testing. That's one side of it, but we also allow students to write and develop podcasts and film scripts. We allow them to study a time period and place themselves as a fictional character writing letters in that time period. So we do a lot of more academic centric work, but also allow students to explore their creativity. Additionally, social and emotional well being is going to be the crux of this school year. We have to have social and emotional well being in order for the academic side to come across. So, especially if you are in my homeroom or Core 1, I want to make sure you are safe and comfortable in my classroom, and we feel like that's going to foster more learning. So, we have a lot of focus on that social and emotional piece this school year, really across this entire building. As we move forward, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. As I said, I am from Whitefish Bay, born and raised. I did have a class once upon a time in these very walls, so that was a bit unusual at first. Have gotten used to it since then, though. I student taught at Holy Family, so after I finished my degree in journalism out in Boston at Northeastern, I came back home. Was so lucky to have my student teaching so close to home, and have been at the middle school ever since. This is my 5th year teaching here. This is certainly going to be different than the other four, or at least up until last March. But I feel like personally it's going to be a great one. I also coach baseball. Many of you know the 8th grade baseball team, and also at the high school level, the JV team. Baseball is a passion of mine through and through. And most of all, I'm just excited to give back. I love this community. It means a lot to me, and I feel honored to be able to give back to the next generation here. As we continue forward with our daily agenda, routine is going to be very important, even for students at home who are logged on through Zoom and are following along with the lesson with my students in person. We want to maintain this agenda as much as possible. There will be some sort of entry ticket or task for your son or daughter to do every day. That is largely so I can get my laptop hooked up in 3 different classrooms and a microphone, smartboard, make sure everything's working and get their brains moving a bit. Then we'll go into our mentor text reading, which is where we model great literature and talk about what makes it so powerful. That blends into the mini lesson, which is our teaching point and kind of main guts of what we want our students to take away from that day, that skill or strategy that they can apply down the road, even as recently as going into independent reading and writing. If we're talking about finding symbolism in a text, they may have to then write and reflect on where they found it in their own book. We'll finish with a bit of a closure or a wrap up to put a bow on the day. What does a prepared student have every day in class? Number one, please bring your Chromebook, of course, now that we're one-to-one as a full school. This is the first year that personally I've been one-to-one. I know that your son or daughter's had a Chromebook for 2 years now. But I have plenty of charging portals in here, but please make sure you are well charged, ready to go and take on the whole school day. Even everything like digital passes this year are new. So the Chromebook is essential to bring to class every day along with that charger and make sure that that Chromebook is available to use throughout the entire day. Headphones as well, please bring those to class along with some Post-it notes for some flagging in books and that entry or exit ticket that we may do. along with your independent reading book, whether that is a physical book, and I will have some of those available for rent and for checkout, but also that book on Sora. Make sure that's accessible if you're reading online as well. And then pencils and pens, just in case you want to jot something down. Type of assessments we do here in 8th grade. Reader responses are a big part of it. We like to take some of those flags or those jots that we do in our log and really elaborate and expand on them and make multiple connections. That is going to be something that is very valuable for maintaining writing stamina and deeper level thinking for high school. Literary analysis is kind of that all-encompassing reader response. It's that major multi-paragraph writing assignment that connects all different aspects of a book or a main point. We do have some book group discussions as well. I do have a group discussion table over here that is divided with some glass casing to make sure that we're being safe as far as that goes. But obviously, the best part about this job is talking about books with my students, and I didn't want to give that up. So we're going to do it in a very safe way. We also have Romeo and Juliet in the spring. Hopefully, we will still be in person for that this year. We were not this past year. But that's a great opportunity not only to see how themes 500 years ago still apply today, but give students a really difficult text to analyze and break down, more comfortable with figurative language. Skills like that again will help them down the road. So even though this presentation is short and shorter than it would normally be if you were in front of me right now, consistent lines of communication are going to be essential this year. Do not hesitate, even before school starts, to reach out to me either through email, send me a note if you have a question about what this class entails and what this is all going to be about. You can give me a phone call or encourage your son or daughter to reach out to me too if they have questions. Frequently check in on their online logs and on our Canvas modules to make sure that you're keeping up with the work and to stay informed so you can discuss what's going on in ELA with your student. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Thanks.